Do you have a chronic illness and you want to know where to go, where to turn? You're just looking for somebody's personal experience that can help you out, telling you maybe what's going to happen, things like that. Well, you found her. I'm about to help you out. Hey warriors, what's up? It's LeeAnna here with another video from Chronic Inspiration. What I have here is a checklist so you can monitor your body, take it to your doctor. You can say, okay, I'm experiencing these, I'm experiencing this, and don't leave anything out. Be specific. Many different chronic illnesses. There's fibromyalgia, like what I have. There is lupus, there's MS, and then there's other things like chronic migraines, sleep apnea, diabetes, depression, anxiety. Those are chronic illnesses. So there are tons of different types, and you never want to leave anything out, because here's the thing: once you get one or two, you may get a few more that are, I call secondary conditions, secondary side conditions. So like with my fibromyalgia, one of my secondary side conditions is muscle jerking. Like I could just sit here and just go like that. It's not really Tourette's. I don't say anything, but I jerk like that sometimes. Those are hard ones when it moves my head. But yeah, so sometimes I do the muscle jerking, and that is a separate side condition, a secondary condition. It's not a condition all on its own, because I am not epileptic. So, but what I have here is a checklist for you to start, keeping track of things. And I'm going to put it in a spreadsheet form, so that way you can move things around, you can add things yourself, and I will also be making updates to it as I think of things that further on in the future, and I'll be able to update it, and it'll go out, the updates will be sent to you. So let's get started. The first thing that I have on here is you need to be aware that your body that your body will start to get weirder and weirder, and it will. You are going to have different things happening, and you're like, whoa, that just never happened before. Why did that just happen? What is going on? Write it down. Just put it down. And another secondary side condition that you may experience is stomach problems, unfortunately. And some of these things may be going into getting older type of thing. I actually have menopause. I'm going through menopause right now. I'm 48, and so it's not a secondary. It's a condition all of its own, and it's not totally chronic, but it is still a thing that every woman has to go through, and it's not fun to be doing it at the same time. So anyway, I'm going to give you that checklist in the spreadsheet, and you can do with it what you want, but I'm going to put these items in it. Your appetite is going to change. Pretty sure your appetite's going to change, because mine did. Mine changed a few times. And when I went into heart failure in 2017, and when that happened, I lost all my appetite, and I totally lost any interest in any food that I used to eat except for sweets. Now, also, when I was perimenopausal, so my craving for chocolate was always there. I always loved cake and ice cream, chocolate, all that stuff when I was growing up. However, about 6 months after I went into heart failure, my uncle, my dad's brother, did as well. And he started only just wanting sweets. And, so it's just very weird. Like let's see. No, I can't think of anybody else, but your body will get weirder, and symptoms don't all show up at the beginning. Like, for example, with fibromyalgia. Now, I am not a medical professional. We're going to say that again. I am not a medical professional. So, but in the beginning, when I first found out I had fibromyalgia, I had hurt my back, and I was seeing a chiropractor, and I was telling him about the different things I was experiencing and where I was tender at and everything, because there's tender points for fibro. And oops, see, my hand just jerked. And so I tested that, and yes, it was fibro. I mean, I went to the doctor, I got on medicine, and as time went on, different things start popping up here and there. Now, once you have a chronic illness, and I had already had in my life depression and anxiety and, all kinds of little things. This was not the first chronic illness that I ever had. So when you go through all that, your body is, it's autoimmune. It's not very pleased with life and with itself, and so it just keeps hammering away at me. That's what it feels like anyway. But we'll go on. Your appetite will change. I already said that. Your sleeping habits will change. I actually ended up being having sleep apnea. After I had both knees replaced, not at the same time, but after the first knee replacement in 2015, I ended up having night terrors. And my mom would have to come in and shake me and wake me up. And because when I sleep like a log. I mean, I am out. My mom has cleaned the whole house, run a vacuum, done all kinds of stuff. And I just don't wake up. But I would rip the mask off. They gave me the machine, and I didn't qualify for Medicare to pay for it because it wasn't logged in long enough. And that's because I would rip the mask off, and I would just put it aside. I didn't even wake up and know that I was doing it. So I had that going on. That was, I think, in 2017. But 2015, when I had the night terrors, that was hard. And also, I would wake up with my left arm, my upper arm, in severe pain. And it was just hurting so bad. It was very weird. Very, very weird. And that was before we found out that I had any heart problems. So, yeah, weird. Like I said, be prepared for your self-confidence to take a dive. And I am sorry to say that this probably will happen to you, even if you only end up with one chronic illness and nothing else, because you've gone over from the well camp, from the healthy camp to the chronic sick camp. Even though it's not contagious, you're not, not healthy. You're not perfect is what it is. Nobody's perfect. So everybody has something going on. But you, in your head, you think of yourself as, I'm sick now. And you're over in the sick side of things. That sounds really terrible. My little holder is coming unglued in the back. But your self-confidence is going to take a dive because you don't feel like you're good enough. You feel like you're unreliable because you might have to cancel plans, change plans a lot because you just simply are too exhausted. That happened to me in my first year before I found out that I actually had fibro. I spent basically the whole year on my couch. That's when I learned social media, though, was that first year. But before that, it was just the web and AIM, instant messaging. But anyway, so I was sleepy a lot, and I canceled plans. And it was, before I knew what was going on, it really hit me like I feel unreliable. I was always kind of unreliable. Now I really was. And I have had to learn to accept myself now as I am, because I am nothing like that 35-year-old, like I was. Okay, next thing, other people, even people that are in your family and that love you, may not understand. They won't understand, and they may not believe that you have a chronic illness. They're going to say, oh, dang it, I jerked again. They're going to say, you don't look sick, if you've had any anxiety or depression, people just aren't educated to realize that those are chronic illnesses as well. It's not like something you can take a medicine for and it goes away. That doesn't happen with mental illness. It doesn't happen with physical illness as well on chronic conditions. And you have to explain to them and say, look, it's actually, there's books that are written for a person with chronic illness and their families. And you have to educate them and show them YouTube videos. And here's the thing, you may even come up against doctors, although I've had this for 13 years, and I've had fibro for 13 years, and even if the doctors didn't really stand behind it back then, they pretty much all do now. So, but you are just going to have to be prepared to explain and, say, look, this is real, and give them, if you want to do your research, do your research, because you're going to have to figure out a new fitness routine. You're going to have to figure out a new diet, depending on what your chronic condition is. And, I mean, gosh darn it. That thing popped off. This little thingy right here that sticks to the back, it just popped off. Anyway, so that will change. And the last one I already said, you're in the sick camp and not the healthy camp. I don't know. It's an experience. That's a good way to explain it. It is an experience. Not always a great experience, but an experience nonetheless. So anyway, that's all for now. Have a great day and a good weekend. And I hope you had a good Memorial Day weekend. See ya. I'm hard at work here, trying to build a YouTube channel. Is, it's hard work trying to establish myself. I've done about 20 videos, and nobody's really watching them. But I haven't put one up in a long time now, and every time I tried putting this video up for like the past week, I've been having tech issues, one thing after another. So I apologize for the lateness of this video. Today is Monday, but it doesn't matter, or Tuesday. I'm just going to put it up anyway, and hopefully have another video for y'all tomorrow.